Disney and Marvel's Black Panther exploded into theaters this past February and promptly broke both records and boundaries. While it seems the sky's now the limit when it comes to the future trajectory of the folks from Wakanda, back in 2010, it was a different story. For Marvel Studios' VP of Development and Production, Nate Moore, the only black producer in Marvel's film division, the desire to push for Black Panther to be made was somewhat mitigated by the challenge of convincing an industry that swears by proven success. In layman's terms, a $200 million movie with an almost all-black cast had never been done. People go, well, what's come before, says Moore. It'll make roughly that, so we'll invest in that. Because tentpole movies with black casts aren't getting made, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. What are you modeling? You didn't release anything in China. Who knows if China likes black people or not? Of course, Black Panther went on to gross $1.3 billion at the global box office, with more than $100 million of that from China, meaning that Moore and his colleagues disproved one of Hollywood's most damaging, untested rules that international audiences wouldn't take to such a film. As Moore recalls, the stakes were high. If this film does not work, it will become a reason to not make films like this. Because man, if Marvel, which opens movies with a raccoon and a tree, can't open Black Panther, hey, I guess these movies don't travel, he remembers thinking. Moore studied communications at UCLA on a Jackie Robertson Foundation scholarship before working in a series of film industry jobs, for example in the development department at Columbia Pictures and as director of development at Participant Media. When he joined Marvel in 2010, it meant adjusting some of his indie world taste to, and imprinting them on, the company's broad audience sensibility. That same year, he asked Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige about Black Panther. Kevin actually was, even back then, very invested in doing something, Moore says. We just didn't know what. The opportunity presented itself in 2014 when directors Anthony and Joe Russo were working on Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Moore saw that they needed a character who could stand toe-to-toe with Iron Man and Captain America, and in a very short amount of screen time have people go, let me pay attention to what this guy has to say. Moore texted Feige his pitch to introduce Black Panther in the movie, and it was off to the races. And the executive found his writer and director in 2013 when he saw Ryan Coogler's feature debut, Fruitvale Station. Says Moore, the film was such an intentionally emotional experience, I was like, who is that filmmaker? Moore went on to enlist Coogler to work with Joe Robert Cole on the Black Panther script, and the executive backed the director's expansive vision for the fictional nation of Wakanda even as the budget increased from $150 million to $200 million. And the benefit of Moore and Marvel taking chances on indie directors such as Coogler, Taika Waititi for Thor Ragnarok, and Chloe Zhao for The Eternals doesn't just translate to box office profits, it equates to inclusion for filmmakers of color. Finding filmmakers who can get great performances out of actors is the toughest thing. Sometimes the actors are against a blue screen in crazy costumes with dots on their face, says Moore. I can surround Ryan Coogler with a second unit director, VFX supervisor and DP, and I can give him the tools, but unless he knows how to execute the story and performance, we're sunk. Coogler will return to write and direct the hugely anticipated Black Panther sequel, which is expected to begin production in 2019, with nearly all of the cast expected to reprise their roles. To read more on this story, head to thr.com. For the Hollywood Reporter News, I'm Lindsay Rodriguez.